Hey, welcome back to another episode of On My Mind. I'm your host, Mike Vaughn. Today we're watching the Insurgent pitch meeting versus Honest trailer. I always watch the Honest trailer first. It's just kind of the flow that I go through with this one. I switch it up every now and then, so, stay on your toes. But we're going to check that out. I've watched a little bit of this movie. I don't think I watched the whole thing. My wife watched it. So I know exactly kind of what's going on here, but they're not good movies. Like we've seen from the Divergent movie. These just aren't good films. So my thoughts on that. We'll talk a little bit more about that towards the middle and end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Overall, let me know your favorite from these two videos, the pitch meeting and the Honest trailer. Which one do you pick? Let me know in the comments below, and let's get right to it. We'll see.
From the director of R.I.P.D. and the writer of Batman and Robin comes the next installment of YA tropes and SAT words sold to teenagers who have already outgrown the genre. What? Too harsh? The Divergent series.
That was
Insurgent.
not a good start. Not a good start.
To the second best franchise about a teenage girl revolutionary whose name ends in is. But this time, the stakes have been raised. At least, I think they've been raised. I kind of forgot about what happened in the first one.
I think so.
As you're dropped into the middle of a world so full of its own insufferable jargon, you'll scramble to remember what the fuck anyone is talking about. Who what to wear now? Triss is back, but her
that was
hair
one sentence.
No. Watch as she finds out she's not just divergent. She's super duper special ultra divergent.
You're much stronger than others. We need to find that very
super duper.
She's what we've been looking for.
Now, this chosen one must team up with the other divergents, Dauntless and the Factionless, to take on Kate Winslet's Erudite faction, with the support of Candor and Amity, to avenge the attack on Abnegation, and you know what? That's it. I'm prostrated by the bounteous measure of inordinately circuitous vernacular in the cinematic offering. See? I have a thesaurus too. After the first movie where Triss had to pass a bunch of tests to join the clique, she'll have to pass a bunch of tests to open a box, all while struggling to separate reality from her nightmares, simulations, and simulations within simulations.
Right, yeah, I do remember that. I saw some of this one.
You are the sim.
As the Divergent series tires of recycling other better YA movies and just
fighting
decides
herself.
to rip off the Matrix instead. I thought you were the one. How is this even legal? Warner Brothers, you might want to jump on this. Revisit all your favorite things about the Divergent franchise, like Shailene Woodley and I guess just Shailene Woodley, and sigh as you put up with all the other crap, like faction jibber jabber.
Thank you for your candor.
Bubeless PG-13 sex, bloodless PG-13 violence, respected older actors being dragged into this mess, promising
they're trying to find the next big thing
into this mess, and Jai Courtney. Oh, well, I guess that's one less thing to worry about in part 3. At least they got something right. So strap in for 2 hours of teenage girl wish fulfillment, culminating in a plot twist where we learn our hero's entire reality is just an elaborate test set up by an outside society who... Hey, wait a minute. Guys, I know I said this last time, but we did this one.
No, John, we haven't.
No, you convinced me the last one wasn't Hunger Games, but this is totally The Maze Runner.
Thank you.
No, John, different movie.
No, it's not. It's the same exact story. Look at this.
If you're watching this, that means you've successfully completed the maze trials.
If you're watching this now, our experiment has succeeded.
What makes you different?
Oh my God.
There will be those among you who will transcend.
The outside world awaits.
Mankind waits for you.
See? It's the same movie.
They're different franchises,
Literally.
John.
So they're just recycling the same plot and essentially attempt to wring cash out of teenagers?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that doesn't seem right. Starring Dr. Octotriss.
Like they were getting more FaceTime with epic voice guy.
Titanic waste of talent.
Oh,
Naomi,
jeez.
what are you doing in this movie? Mr. Fantastic has the best agent in Hollywood. Mackay still 5 minutes of screen time. Needles.
Still. Oh, God.
And Ansel Elgort's goofy run. Detergent inverted.
Still. Detergent. Okay.
Okay, I'm still confused. What exactly is the difference between Divergent and Factionless again?
I'm factionless because I don't fit into any one faction. And you're divergent because you belong to too many.
Never mind. Sorry I asked.
Forget it. good honest trailer. Not hilarious, but has some funny moments. And it really dives deep into how this one, the sequel to Divergent, is a rip on The Maze Runner, where the first one was a rip on Hunger Games. Kind of Maze Runner 2 to a degree. It's just a very forgettable series. And so now I'm really looking forward to how the pitch meeting will go at it, because honest trailer went at it. Like, it went good. I thought it would have gone a little bit harder at it. That one I saw a little bit of that one, because I remember when she's fighting herself in the simulation, and I remember nothing about Allegiant, the third movie. So we'll see how that one goes. But this is the best way to absorb the information from this movie. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. I'd rather watch the Hunger Games or the first two Maze Runner movies. The third one, it was okay. The first one's the best one. But none of these are very good. So this is the best way to consume this type of story. So let's get to the pitch meeting now.
So, you got a Divergent sequel for me?
Yes, sir, I do. Insurgent.
Oh, I thought it was called Divergent.
It is, yeah, but the second one's called Insurgent. Each of these ends with an ent sound, which is fun and not at all forced.
Yeah, that's kind of confusing. Better title this one the Divergent Series Insurgent.
Now that's catchy. With a colon?
You know it. A very catchy colon.
Well, I don't know what that means. Anyway, Triss is hiding out at the Amity compound, and she decides to give herself a short haircut, complete with layers and blending.
Dystopian stylish skills are important. Why does she do that now, though?
To show her transformation. And also Shailene Woodley just did that Fault in Our Stars movie, so she shaved her head for that.
Gotcha.
So at the Amity compound, everybody's about kindness, right? They say stuff like,
go
with happiness.
Going with a penis is tight.
Why'd you pronounce that like that?
I don't know.
Anyway, Triss is with her brother and her boyfriend 4 and that jerk Peter.
Why is he with them?
Because he's got to be there, because he's going to betray them. So one day that bad guy Eric and his crew show up, because that bad lady Jeanine has them rounding up all Divergents.
Why?
Because she got her hands on this frickin' box that can only be opened by a Divergent, and she thinks it holds the secret to eliminating Divergents.
If she's rounding them up, doesn't that kind of take care of eliminating them?
Hey, shut up. And so Eric is going around with this little scanner that shows him what faction people are in.
Wait, if that technology exists, why'd they make those kids do those crazy drug trips in the last movie?
Well, they thought it'd be funny, I guess. So after Peter betrays them, the good guys run away and jump onto a moving train and escape.
Do the bad guys not run fast enough?
Apparently not, and their vehicles don't drive fast enough either. But then on the train, there are a bunch of factionalists, so they get attacked and they have to kill a bunch of them.
Why'd they attack?
For there to be a fight scene, and then 4 finally reveals that he's the son of their leader, so they stop attacking and bring them to her.
He didn't want to lead with that?
No, he decided to end several lives first, destroy multiple families before resorting to talking to his mommy.
This guy's kind of a psychopath.
A little bit, I guess. So his mom is like, hey, we gotta join forces to take over and whatnot, and he's like, I will never do that until a few scenes have passed.
Sticking to his guns for a tiny little bit.
So then Triss and 4, for Triss, if you will,
Until a few
not,
scenes.
but thank you for asking.
Totally fair. They go to Candor, where everybody's all about telling the truth.
Sure.
And they're given a truth serum, and that reveals that Jeanine has this conspiracy going on to try to take over.
Right, how can any leaders do any sketchy conspiracy stuff when truth serum is a thing?
By it only being used in this one scene.
That works.
And so meanwhile, Jeanine keeps testing Divergence to see if they can open the box.
Just
they're
this
not
one
100%
scene.
Divergent, so Janine's like, we need to find the very special one.
I mean, it doesn't say that, though, right? That's like a placeholder line.
Yeah. Okay, great. So then the bad Dauntless attack Candor and shoot everybody with these metal things that knock you out, unless you're Divergent.
How do they have all these little gadgets? Technology. That makes sense.
So Eric manages to capture Triss, and he finds out she's the very special one. She's 100% Divergent.
100%? Didn't her test results in the last movie only show Erudite, Abnegation, and Dauntless?
There's no way for me to check that.
Oh, too bad. That would have been helpful.
But then 4 pops out and fights all the enemies and saves her, so everything's okay.
Well, hooray for 4 for that forceful foray.
What was that?
I'm not saying that again. My tongue almost fell off.
Well, okay then. So then it turns out those little metal thingies are also mind control devices.
Sure, why not?
So Jeanine mind controls 3 people into jumping off a ledge and says she's going to continue unless they turn in Triss.
She can mind control them. Why not just mind control them to bring her Triss?
Now that is a good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyway, so she decides to turn herself in because she feels bad, and they strap
Made him
her
feel
into a
good for a
machine.
minute.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so now she's got to do a bunch of stuff that's not real. It's not happening.
Yeah, I guess that's exciting.
It might be. She's going to do some not real
might be.
parkour. She's going to do some not real fighting.
That's right.
Can you imagine if that was actually happening?
And eventually she's got to pass the Amity
Could you
trial, where all
imagine?
she has to do is not fight herself.
So what's she gonna do?
She's going to fight herself. She's going to fight herself so much.
It's gonna be impossible for her to save the day if she fails the test.
Actually, it's going gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see, it turns out that Peter guy helps her fake her own death before she opens the box, so she gets taken out of the room.
Wow, so what does she want to do now?
Well, now she wants to go back in the room and open the box.
What?
So then she does that, and it turns out it contained a message saying the whole city was an experiment, and outside their walled-off city, the world's torn apart by war.
An experiment? What do you mean?
Well, they wanted to see if divergence would happen. And that they did, so that's good. That's good.
How does that help the war?
Well, see, these people have more. They got more than one personality trait, see, and that's how you start wars.
Oh, is it?
I mean, yeah. So then the good guys
yeah,
across
sure.
the city. So everyone's like,
Why
well,
not?
okay, I guess let's head to the walls and go through.
All they know
my
is that
God.
there's war on the other side of the wall. Why would they all head there?
Exactly.
That's how the movie ends.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Hey, I mean,
Just
as long
see
as
if
this does
people
well enough to keep churning
head to
out
their
YA
potential
stuff,
doom.
I'm happy.
Oh my God. Again, this is it. This is the way to watch these movies. Just a quick way to get in and out. Don't have to spend too much time on like however long these movies are, 2 hours, however long they are. Literally 2 hours, an hour, 59 minutes. So like still a situation where you don't have to waste too much time. Just watch these. Just watch these. Watch the originals. Don't even watch my reaction. Just watch this. Don't watch the actual movie because these movies are not very good. Now, if you're fans of these actors like Shailene Woodley and Theo James, Miles Teller, like if you're a fan of these actors, sure, check it out because you love them, whatever. But Naomi Watts being in this, Kate Winslet being in this, like you could tell this is one of those movies where these actors are trying to find that next big thing because it always happens after Hunger Games. It happened after Harry Potter. It always happens. So The Matrix was another one where people were like, oh shoot, the next sci-fi thing could be, this movie. Then you got movies like Ender's Game and you got Harrison Ford showing up and all these, it's like things that aren't going to be that great, but it sounds like it could be. I always wonder what the pitch is like to the actors to get into these movies. That's the one I want to see. Ryan George, maybe that could be you. Maybe we could start that. Who knows? Maybe I just talked myself into a new idea. Pitch meetings was the actor being pitched a movie to play the character. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh crap. Okay, I might have started something here. Okay, anyway, give me your thoughts on the movie if you watched it, but also obviously on the pitch meeting, the honest trailer. Pitch meeting killed it. Pitch meeting was hilarious. Funnier than the honest trailer for me here. Honest trailer has some good moments, but the pitch meeting was great. So give me your thoughts in the comments below. Hopefully you had a good laugh on this one. Let me know because I love that we could do this together. So I appreciate you guys. Hit that like button if you like what you saw here today. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. It's free. I'd appreciate it. And it's awesome to see the channel continue to grow. So I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys as always on the next video. Take care.